All right, let's talk some McCorkle Jones for a minute. Listen, Mac Jones, I feel like he continues to play solid football. He continues to play really well for a rookie, and I thought this was a good game against the Atlanta Falcons. I think there still is some stuff that he's doing really well just for a player in general, let alone for a rookie quarterback. So let's get into what that stuff is. Like, for example, right here, this is just a great example of kind of what Mac Jones can do that a lot of other quarterbacks can't do. It's a cover two zone, and the way this concept is typically designed to work is you have one receiver who's going to run a deep route, another receiver runs sort of over the middle, and the third key aspect of this play is going to be the play action. Typically, how this works is that with the play action, linebackers are going to move further in. Then what you do is, since you have a deep route, typically this works better against cover 3. It can still work against cover 2, though, is you're pushing the safeties further deep with that deep route, which now allows the route over the middle to get open. That's what you want to have happen. And, every now and then the safety will even crash over the middle and try to take away the middle route, which can leave someone wide open deep down the field. But that's rare. But if it does happen, you hope your quarterback can recognize it and you can get a big play there. Also worth noting, you see on sort of on the top of the screen, it's to Mac Jones's left. There's just a little check down as well. That's kind of his next option. If nothing is open deep on either of those two routes, then you just take the check down. And right when this play starts, so you see for Jones, this is pretty fascinating because there's two things he has to look at. First, the deep route. It is taking away both safeties, so can't throw it there. That's basically triple coverage at this point. So now, conventional wisdom would tell you, okay, just throw it over the middle. That's what your read on this play is, but not exactly. You see those three linebackers covering the middle right here. Jones can't really make this throw. There's not a window to make this throw, so that's going to be tough for him as well. So now we know he should probably take the check down, but what's very fascinating about this play is Jones is already throwing it to the check down. Jones got through his reads that quickly, and that's what you like about Mac Jones, is the fact that he's not going to take forever to make these decisions. And I mean, listen, it's been 3 seconds now at this point from the spot of the snap. At least that's what it says on my editing software. That can be a little bit off sometimes, but it's been about 3 seconds, you would say, since that happened. But keep in mind, he had to run this play action, so he didn't actually get his head turned around, for 3 whole seconds. He kind of only had about a second and a half to make that decision, and still has now made the correct read. So look, he takes a check down, and they're going to end up picking up a first down on this play. And I think a lot of people would say, oh, Mac Jones, he's just getting lucky. He's taking the check downs, and they're getting a lot of yards. He's not really doing too much. And there is some of that, and we'll get into that in a second, but there also is some of it because he's making the correct read. Both things can be true. But also, now let's go over to stuff like this, because there's a narrative I keep hearing, which is Mac Jones's receivers aren't really that good. They're just getting schemed open, and Jones is doing a great job of finding the open guy. Like, Mac Jones's receivers, the New England Patriots receivers, are playing pretty well. Like, they're getting open. This is an example. It's going to be man coverage. It's a cover 2 man. And Kendrick Bourne running a quick slant route. Worth mentioning, this is a second down and 1 right here. So just gaining a yard, that gets you a lot of value. And look, right when this play starts, the corner was playing a bit off, and Bourne is open right here. Now, you could argue that, like, okay, this is bad defense, but regardless, guys are getting open, and this is happening pretty consistently across the board. So it's not like the receivers are bad. Look, Bourne's going to be able to make the grab, and they pick up a first down right there. That's good stuff by Kendrick Bourne. It really is. I think that, again, good job of Mac Jones, right, for picking the right matchup pre-snap, looking in that direction, and throwing an accurate ball quickly. All of that stuff, absolutely, very good stuff. It was also a really good play by Kendrick Bourne. I think we should give him some credit there. Also, something like this, where it's going to be a cover 1 man play, and you have a really simple concept, like, oh, what a great call by Josh McDaniels here to tell his receiver, hey, try to get open really well. That's pretty much how it kind of feels a little bit, because it's man coverage. In man coverage, it's hard to scheme guys open too much unless you're doing it with pick plays. For the most part, your guys are going to have to get open, and this time it's going to be Jakobi Meyers who's running the out route, so the route going towards the sideline. He's the receiver that's not closest towards the bottom of the screen, but one spot up. That's the guy you're going to want to watch here. Notice how Jones is going to take the snap. There's also a play action here, and look at just how wide open Jakobi Meyers got on this play. I mean, this is just great, a great job by Meyers, quite frankly. So again, is it Falcons defense bad? You can say that if you want to, but the reality is the New England Patriots are doing a good job of getting guys open, and they might not have the household names, but they have guys who can just run their routes and run their routes well, right? Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, even N'Keal Harry to some degree there's things he can do well, specifically block well. So, and obviously not to mention Hunter Henry and even Jonnu Smith, although Smith hasn't done a lot so far this season, there still is the threat of him. So you just have so many options that guys can get open, and you can take advantage of, going up against teams' third best corner, or even against teams, maybe their best safety in these types of plays instead. Now, if we want to talk about some negatives with the Patriots and with Mac Jones, we could. There are some out there. This is maybe one of them. There's going to be a blitz, and one thing I do have to say about Jones is, he's gotten the Tom Brady comparison, which is just so unfair for him, because, how can he live up to that, right? But part of why, he gets it, obviously, is he makes good decisions and makes them quickly, and also is, has a pre-draft photo of him looking out of shape. So that's kind of another aspect of the comparison. Obviously the main reason is just playing for the Patriots. But one of the key differences, I would say, is that, Brady, amazing at picking up blitzes and amazing at, pocket presence. And to be fair, Brady didn't start his career that way. You have to learn this stuff. And Mac Jones, I would say, has been the best against the blitz, but he still is a rookie quarterback, and this is an example of him not picking up a blitz. Look, a blitz is going to come off the edge. He didn't realize it pre-snap, which is one thing, but also didn't really realize it post-snap. That's tough. Those are difficult, and even veteran players will make that mistake, but I'm using it kind of as an example. There have been some instances of this. His passer rating when he is not blitzed is 102. When he is blitzed, it's 81. So a decent drop off there. So, but again, something you do expect him to get better at, but that's, I think, something worth noting when evaluating Jones. And we can talk about the interception, right? Because that's kind of also another argument with Mac Jones, right? Is that, okay, he's someone who maybe doesn't have the highest upside, perhaps, but at least he can be a really good game manager. Well, if you're going to be an elite game manager, you can't turn the ball over, That's how, Tom Brady was so successful as that quote-unquote game manager, although, again, feels almost weird to call him that, but the way he would do it was he would get these high volume, passing yards by throwing the ball and executing an offense to a T without turning the ball over. Here you are going to see Jones turn the ball over, but I don't think it's really that bad. It's going to be a cover 3 zone. You see the route that he wants to throw to. It's one that can work against this coverage. This is Jonnu Smith he's going to try and throw the ball to. And look at how Jones is going to, again, runs a play action, kind of a half-hearted play action. And this is a tight window to try to make this throw. He has to get it over a linebacker who's over the middle of the field. On top of this, it's A.J. Terrell, who's a really good corner, who's behind Smith. And, the final aspect is this is Jonnu Smith there. If it's Aguilar, okay, maybe that's a bit different because he's someone who can, we all know Aguilar's not necessarily known for his hands, but he can at least, he knows how to box out better because he's a wide receiver as opposed to a tight end. Jones tries to force it through and, really doesn't put enough mustard on it for it to really get through. So that is what happened. But again, I would kind of factor a little bit of this to be, I don't know. I don't think it's a disastrous throw. This, to me, kind of falls in the rookie mistake category. He is still a rookie. You still do see the rookie flaws in his game from time to time, but he's a really good rookie, and there's no denying that. And the reality is you're always going to see rookie mistakes with rookie quarterbacks. I mean, that's why they call them rookie mistakes. So there are some negatives. I want to be fair on both sides, but I don't think that the negatives are really that big of a deal. So yeah, I mean, listen, Mac Jones continues to play well. He's been a very good rookie so far, which is very fun to see, and I think that he can continue to get better as well. I think there is, I don't think that this is who he is and he'll never get better. Now, there still always is going to be that thing hanging over Jones of, well, how much of a playmaker can he be? And probably not much of one, but again, Tom Brady won a Super Bowl last year. You don't need to be an elite playmaker. And by the way, when I say playmaker, I sort of mean, okay, play call doesn't work. Can you, Kyler Murray, scramble outside the pocket and then, add more time for someone to get open and then you make a play? Basically creating something out of nothing. That's not really what Jones is going to do, but at the same time, that's okay, because you can win a Super Bowl without it, and he does so much else well that he more than makes up for it. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.